Now, the beauty of the system that we're using here is that we're going to cut a lot of steps out of the whole process of putting sidewall and roof on this building. What we've got here are these Insulspan panels. The Insulspan company makes them in about 4 different locations in the country. But they include the insulation, the outside sheathing, the inside. Well, let's get together with Frank Baker from the company and Bob Riley. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
How are you, Frank?
Hi, Bob.
And let's talk a little bit about this system, because this is not only a way of saving a lot of steps in construction, right, Bob?
Oh, sure is. Yeah, this is going to go quick.
But it's also an exercise in mathematics.
Well, it is mathematics for a computer, evidently.
Yeah, exactly. Because Frank, what you guys do is you take the architect's plan. In this case, it's a plan that shows you the exact location of every post and beam and rafter in this structure, and you mathematically figure out what the layout is for your panel system, right?
Right, we look for the optimal layout here to minimize waste and also to provide the structural engineering required in the structure, and in this case with the post and beam, trying to make those panels lay well onto that frame.
Right, and so we're looking at a system where you really don't have a series of 2x4 studs on 16-inch centers anymore. You've got the structural strength, well, in addition to the post and beams, but right into this into these components.
Right, we're dealing with large panel sections here, up to 8 feet wide by 24 feet long in one piece.
And they're thick. Now these are really thick. Are these for the roof?
These are roof panels here. We call these a nominal 8-inch panel because the core will receive a 2x8 when necessary for splines and window bucks.
And this white stuff is polystyrene, so what's the R factor we get here?
You're looking at about R34 here in this particular roof panel, but that's a continuous blanket of insulation you're looking at here.
No interruptions. And so we've got the oriented strand board, and then in addition we spec'd sheetrock for our ceilings, and that's already in place as well. That's what you're looking at here.
Right, that's pre-applied right to the panel, so as soon as it's set, your drywall's in place.
Excellent.
And then it's backed up with OSB also for nail base.
And the sidewall panels are the ones you got down here. They're a different thickness, right?
Right, the sidewalls here are 4-inch thick panels, which is pretty typical for a wall panel.
Now, what are they driving these screws in here for?
The screws are what actually hold the panel to the timber framework.
Right, they're using these hardened screws, and they're just driving them right through. They've already snapped lines where our posts are, so when they lift it up, they'll drive these screws right into our frame.
Okay, and this is one section, and it goes right in front of us here, all right? There we go. Now, is there a reason why you use oriented strand board instead of plywood?
Yes, plywood's limited to 4 by 8 foot sizes and is becoming more and more expensive as the veneer quality trees are hard to get, and oriented strand board is unlimited in sizes.
You can make the sheets pretty big.
Pretty big. That's part of where the speed of the system comes in, and also the uniformity of the panel. It's all one piece. There's no interruptions in the system. Other than at our joints here where you see right around this particular window opening. And at that point we use a plywood spline to actually secure one panel to the adjoining panel.
There you go. From this way, corner. Yeah, from where I'm looking, it looks pretty beautiful, Frank. That is one of our rectangular window openings in the section of the barn that'll be our car storage section.
Right, and it's all pre-cut. You'll be ready for your window installation in a matter of hours here.
Now, what's the plywood for?
Plywoods are the actual splines that secure one panel to the next, which makes it act as one uniform panel the entire length of the building.
I see.
And also help to seal that joint.
Okay.
Although we will also be inserting foam into that joint. There's a foaming groove inside the panel that will foam into to seal.
And now we're ready to actually start putting roof sections on this side of the building, right?
We're just about there. We just have a little bevel plate to put on the top, and then we're ready for roof panel.
Great. Okay, that's an odd shaped one, isn't it?
It's all pre-cut to accept the triangular windows up above.
Yeah, that's what's amazing, because it's not just rectangles and squares, but you're dealing here with triangles.
Nope, they're all cookie cutter basically to fit the application. In this case, it provides your header over your door opening too. The panel itself has more than enough strength to carry those loads right across that opening.
So that the structural component is right there, and you don't need to bring in any beams or any doubled up 2x12s or anything like that to work as a header?
No, that panel actually has tremendously greater strength than what a header would have. You can almost imagine that as one big deep beam you're looking at right there.
Okay, well, Riley, what do you figure the most important part of this job is, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, it's nice to see everything fitting together so nicely, because that means not only are these panels coming to us true and square, what we've got sitting here in our frame is true and square.
Frame's the most important thing.
It's
I mean, you
important.
must hate it when you arrive at a job and you've got stuff that's out of kilter a little bit.
Oh, it makes it pretty tough because the panels are pretty rigid.
Wow, look at this thing, huh? Now, what's the dimension of that roof panel?
That's an 8x20 we're looking at here. And it's all one piece.
It's all one piece, and in one installation you're basically taking care of 3 trades, because you've got the carpenters that would have been putting the plywood or oriented strand board sheeting
Right,
in
yeah.
place. You got the insulation contractor,
Yeah,
and you got the drywall contractor.
that's the one I like, because this is a cathedral
That's-
ceiling too,
yeah.
so they'd be way up in the air.
It's a
doing
rough
this.
job to do, yeah. Well, we'll be checking back later to see the progress that's being made. We're also going to learn about how they make the oriented strand board. And you've got a door to install. But Frank,
Right.
thanks for coming out.
Thank you, Bob. It's been
All
a
right.
real pleasure.